Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Milan and I am here to tell you a story. There's some weird that happens to me, but my life is very crazy and you can ask anybody who knows me. I have the most like random things happen to me and I find a way to embarrass myself in every situation that I do. And so the story that I'm gonna tell you today is the time that I embarrassed myself in front of the one, the only Leonardo DiCaprio. So, to give you a little background, the movie 12 Years a Slave, I'm sure you've heard of it. It is definitely an Academy Award winning movie. Well, basically, that movie is about my 4 or 5 times great-grandfather, Solomon Northup. So this is around the year 2013 and I am 15. I am a junior in high school and I remember my mom telling me, she was just like, just so you know, like they're remaking your grandfather's movie. And I was like, what? Because they've already made the movie. So I was like, oh, okay, cool, like it'll be better. But by the time that they made it, we were invited to a screening of the film. Coolest thing ever. We went, I think, to the ArcLight in Los Angeles. They rented out the whole theater for my family. They had snacks and drinks and we were able to just sit there and watch it. And it was the first time I actually got to watch the movie because I'm much younger. I have an older sister and like when you turn 8 in our family, you're kind of like made aware of the story. And so so basically what happened is we were watching it and like it was really hard for me, of course, like to see like a family member or anybody, I guess, go through such like a hard time. And I remember having to like leave because it was just too rough for me to think like that's what, like, I'm gonna refer to him as my grandfather just because it's easier than saying great grandfather. So my grandfather, it was hard to see, like, even though that wasn't him, it was like watching him. So it was really hard for me to watch what he went through. And like for the most part, the movie was pretty accurate. Like of course there were some discrepancies, but ultimately it was really good. And they asked us our opinion on the movie and we gave our opinions on like certain scenes and accuracy and stuff like that. And then fast forward, we just move on with our lives. So then the movie comes out around October of 2013. But basically we decided, oh, it would be fun to go to like a showing of it, like to see it again. And so we go, my mom takes me and we go watch it. And I think there was a moment where it was too hard for me to handle and like it was the same moment as the first movie and I left. I said excuse me to my mom and I just left. And I went outside and I was crying and I was just bawling and bawling and bawling. And this woman comes up to me and she's like, oh, is it just hard? She was like, is it just hard for you to watch? And I was like, yeah, but like also it's hard because like that's a relative, like watching my relative suffer. And she was like, like she lost it and she was like, wait a second. And then she walked away and came back and I'm still there crying and she's like running around and like doing all this stuff. And then she comes up to me and she was like, I am a producer on this movie. I really want you to come sit in the front row. I want you to come sit in the front row with us. And like me, I'm like, it's the middle of the movie. I don't think I can do that. I was like, I didn't want to be disruptive because like movies are very important in my family, so I decided no, we're not gonna just like interrupt the movie, you know? So I was like, I have my mom with me and she was like, both of you, we'll take both of you. So we go up and luckily like my mom likes to sit on the end in theaters, and so we're sitting on the end and she's like, come with me, and I was like, mom, just go with it. This woman's taking us, we're gonna go sit in the front. And she was like, okay. So we go and sit in the front, and at the end of SAG screenings of movies, they have like a talk back where basically like the whole cast comes out and you sit there and you get to ask them questions or you hear different interviews. You've probably seen some of them if you look on like movies. They do them with a lot of Marvel movies where they get the whole cast together and they just kind of debrief the whole film. So so then at the end, this lady, she's like, I'm gonna do something. And I was like, what you about to do? And she was like, just trust me. And so right at the end of the talk back, she like jumps up and she was like, Mr. McQueen, who's the director. And he was one of the like, he wasn't leading the talk back, but like he was there. And she was like, she was like, I have something special, and then so she goes up and she whispers to him, and all of a sudden he like walks off the stage, grabs me and my mother, and like brings us on stage in front of all of these people, and it was absolutely terrifying. And so basically, like, he announced, he's like, we have descendants of Solomon Northup up here. The crowd went wild. I was like, this is a movie theater. Me, I'm like, okay, like, I'm a person, but like these people were so excited to see us, and the cast didn't get to meet any of the family members. And so like my favorite actress, Sarah Paulson, she was in it. I remember going up to her and just kind of being like, I was crying. I was crying. There's a picture right here. It's not a great picture. Basically, she was wiping my tears, and I was like, I'm so happy you're here, like, I love you. And she was like, I'm so happy you were born. And I was like, oh my god, like, it was just a bunch of crying. And basically, like, I walked past like Benedict Cumberbatch, Brad Pitt, like, I walked past all of these, Michael Fassbender, all of these actors, and I just went straight to her. And I was like, ah. So fast forward after that, we start to get invited to award season shows. So like I got to go to a couple of award shows where like my grandfather's movie, the script, or the book, the actual book that was written, was being honored. And so I went to the USC Scripter Awards. I'm a Bruin, so that was kind of weird for me to I mean, my mom was Bruin, so Bruin, it was kind of hard for me to betray my school like that, but it was really cool. But I go and I got to meet the real Captain Phillips, and all of these amazing biography movies were coming out about people's lives and all of these experiences. And so I was just like, whoa, it was so cool. And one night I got to go to this amazing award show, and it was a big one. I'm not gonna say which one, but it was a very big one. And so my mom, I was still acting at the time, and my mom thought it would be better networking if she let me go. So they only allowed like 2 family members, two or three families, I think it was 2. So my cousin took me. She was older, so she took me, and I was like, oh, and like, this is a picture. I was looking really great. And fun fact, I actually wore that dress to prom 2 years later. It worked out because I grew boobs, so like I looked good in it and you couldn't tell, but like in this one it's literally just hanging on me. But it was pretty. They sent a car. It was so amazing. And so we basically go and we go to this award show, and then after the award show, John Ridley, who is an amazing screenwriter, his wife, we got really close, and her name is Gail, and she was like, do you want to come to this after party? And I was like, yeah, I do. My 15-year-old self was so excited. I was like, I don't have a bedtime, I can hang out with adults. And I remember getting to this party in our nice little town car, them dropping us off, and I remember getting out and like my heart instantly broke because Justin Bieber just left. I literally was in love with Justin Bieber, and I remember him leaving, like seeing him get in a car and leave this party, and I was like, oh, my 15-year-old dreams were crushed. Little did I know, the night would get so much better. So we're going around, and like me, like other people are drinking, and I'm like, wait, what's alcohol? So I had a Shirley Temple. So I'm just like enjoying the night, seeing all these people. CeeLo Green was performing, and he was performing a song, Forget You, and like that song was so big. Like I remember that song, like just jamming around to it, and like all of my haters just like, forget you. No, I don't care. Anyway. Anyway, so we get there and we're just running around, taking laps. I'm networking. I'm very extroverted, if you couldn't tell, but I'm just talking to these people. Most of the time I don't know who half these people are, so like it's not like I'm like, I'm gonna talk to you because you're famous. It was more like, hey, hi, I'm Milan, nice to meet you. And I wanted people to see me in my dress. I looked so good in that dress. I can still fit in that dress, by the way. Anyway, so what happens is the night is getting pretty late and we're getting close to leaving, and which was great. After what happened, I needed to make a quick exit. So basically, I had a Shirley Temple in a nice little champagne glass, and I was walking around hanging out with Gail, and she was introducing me to people, and all of a sudden, like, I like someone like steps on my dress because it was pretty long. Like it didn't have a train, but it was pretty long. Someone steps on my dress, and I go to walk and I fall, and I fell hard. Like, and luckily I didn't spill anything on my white dress, so that that was pretty great. But I spilled the drink all over the floor, and I remember freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, everyone's looking at me, because everyone looked at me, because like I fell in front of all of these celebrities, and like me at 15 was like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is the end of the world. This is the end of my life. This is how I die. Got it. So then it was clear that somebody had like knocked me over, like backed into me and stepped on my dress, and then I fell. But there was a nudge and it hurt. But I fell down, and I'm like trying to save face, so I'm just like pulling my dress, and I'm just like, no, it's fine, I'm fine, everything's fine. Everyone's like, are you okay? As I'm still on the floor. Granted, I am not getting up yet, I am still on the floor. And so somebody goes to help me, and like they're trying to help me, and I was like not looking at anyone. I was trying not to make eye contact. I was like, no, it's okay, no, like I'm fine. So somebody helps me up, and they're like straightening out my dress, and then I look up, and the most beautiful pair of blue eyes I have ever seen are looking at me. And I was in heels, so I was about his height, so I was like looking into his eyes, and I realized the man who knocked me over was Mr. Leonardo DiCaprio. And he felt so bad. He was like super like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, like, are you okay, He was like, I'm so sorry for knocking over, like, can I get you anything? I'm so sorry for knocking you over. And like my 15-year-old brain just melted. I forgot who I was, I forgot where I was, I forgot how old I was, apparently, like anything. And I was just like, the love of my life is looking into my eyes. This is it. This is it. And so I couldn't think of anything to say. I'm so sorry for knocking you over, I'm so sorry for knocking you over. My 15-year-old brain failed me. My mouth failed me. The dress failed me, everything failed me. And at this point I look at him, and I was like, it's okay, I was like, it's fine, you can knock me up anytime. Just sit with that for a second. I told him he could knock me up anytime. I was 15. And then realizing what I said, the look on his face was, oh. It literally changed from like to, and I was like, no, knock me over. I mean, you can knock me over every time. And like I was about to start crying. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, no, I didn't mean that. And he was just like, it's okay. He started laughing at this point, realizing that I am a child, and probably the fact that I just met the love of my life, and I couldn't breathe. I literally said, knock me up. Ugh. Anyway, I still cringe. You know when you wake up in the middle of the night and you think about the most embarrassing thing you did? It was 15-year-old me telling me, Leonardo DiCaprio, that he could knock me up anytime. And I was like, knock me over! So basically, anyway, after that, I was like, knock me over. You can knock me over. Oh my God. I remember sitting there, and I was like, oh, and he was like, no, you're fine. I got what you meant. He gave me a kiss on the cheek. He was like, I'm so sorry for knocking you over. And he literally paused. He was like, I'm sorry that you fell. He was like, I'm sorry I caused you to fall. And then like I said, he gave me a kiss on the cheek, and then he went about his life. And everyone's just staring at me at this point. My cousin, everybody. And I'm just sitting there like, cool. And then my aunt comes up to me, she's like, my cousin comes up to me, and she's like, you ready to go? And I was like, yeah. I've never left a room faster than, oh my gosh, I cleared out a room. Like, I cleared out of that room quicker than like a rancid fart clears out. Like I was like, bye. I needed to go. And like, I did not tell anybody this story until I got to college, because I was still so embarrassed at the fact that oh my God, anyway, that is what I do. I embarrass myself. I don't feel bad about it. Like, I think it makes my life so much more interesting, but I actually genuinely really like, I don't mind it. Like, I have fun. Like, it's fun to have fun with yourself, and like if you can't laugh at yourself, like what are you doing? So it's funny now that I can go back and laugh on it, but like when I was 15, I was devastated. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Follow me, like, subscribe, comment, anything like that. And if you want to hear another story, let me know in the comment section below. I hope you have an amazingly beautiful day, and yeah, peace out. Did I stop it? Did I stop it?